Good morning. Hopefully you can hear me. If you'd be kind enough to just confirm in chat that you can hear me. I know the music was playing, I could hear that, but be appreciated if you could let me know that you can hear me. Would help if I was talking to the correct end of the microphone as well. I'm just clipping you onto the shirt. Loud and clear. Barclays can't hear me because they've got the phone muted. Beauty Love Creator can hear me. Audio is a bit quiet. I'm on the maximum I can provide in terms of audio from my end, so it won't get any louder than this. So if you need to turn up your volume to compensate, please do. I can't turn it up any more here. So I'll do test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's about as much as I can get out of the audio here. Yeah, so sorry about that. That's we've got a slightly different setup today to try to overcome our audio issues. So say it's the maximum I can provide. So if you want to up your volume, you can do. You're not going to get your ears blasted out, unless of course Twitch put the adverts on, and then you get blasted out anyway. I'll give you a warning if we're going to create any huge amount of noise. But I'm just looking at the audio settings on here, and I'm maxed out. Let me just check that. Yeah, maxed out on that. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just having to deal with a spider. It's decided that he wants to live on my laptop. Right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Just going to see if I reposition the microphone slightly. Hopefully that's a bit better. It's as close as it can get to my mouth without being in it. I'll say a few mornings to people. Hopefully you can hear me. Morning Low, morning Beauty, Love Creative. And then over on Twitch. Morning to Joanne, to Michael, to Archiles. Who else have we got that's coming? Morning Andy, and Lone's over there as well. Just going to check the audio. Yeah, following the audio issues last week, it's not fully resolved. I have got a transmitter receiver halfway down the garden now, so you should be able to hear me down the bottom of the garden and back where the laptop is inside. Currently looking at one of the hanging baskets, Nicotemia. We'll do a few admin things to start off the stream. I'm just watching the audio. Yeah. Let me just see if I can do anything with the actual audio at my end. Let's see if I can improve it a little bit. No. That's the wrong thing I'm touching. That's the wrong thing. Come on, concentrate. And it's got no filters on it, so that's not causing an issue. No, that's it. Right. As long as you can hear me and you can turn up your volume a bit, we'll plough on anyway. Admin issues. I'm still struggling a bit with me knee that I injured last weekend, but I'm going to try to do something today. I've been told it's going to take about 4 to 6 weeks to fully recover, so I'm not supposed to be kneeling on it. So I've got to work out how I'm going to get on the ground without kneeling. So that's going to be interesting. I think when I'm doing this today, there's going to be a lot of in and ahhing and ouch, that hurts. So apologies for that. Morning, TBS. What we're doing today, or the plan is you remember, I can't remember now, 2 weeks ago we took down the clematis on the stream and cleared the area at the back, and I wanted to get some plants in. Didn't do it last week because obviously my knee was a mess last week, so it's not perfect, but we're going to try and do it today because the plants need to go in. So we're going to attempt to do that today. So we've got to rake off the top surface, put a little edge in, some edging in, dig our holes deep enough that we can get the plants in. I've already had a little exploratory dig. It's not going to be easy, so we'll do the best we can, put the plants in, and then we'll top that bit up with the with some compost, and then the plants will just have to create their own holes with their little roots. So that's the plan for today. So look. Morning, Yankee. They've also been updating things both on Twitch and on YouTube. So it's also a combination of a gardening stream but also a test stream. I almost ran a test stream last night to try this out, but didn't get around to it. So for Twitch viewers, you do have, I've changed some of the channel points and power up redeems. We have got new locations for the announcements, which, to be honest, I can't remember which side they're on. They're both on now on one side, one's above the other. So when you get an announcement, it's not going to be slap bang in the middle of the screen and disturb the picture, which I think is important, especially if we try to clip anything from the pictures. It keeps it out of the way, but they're still there. I believe, let me just double check. What am I checking? Yes, that's what I'm checking. That's turned itself off again. Why the heck is that turning itself off? Should not be turning itself off. Oh, okay. My understanding, we just that we have actually, hopefully, touch wood, we have 2 ice cream vans in operation. If it works today, we'll be having a separate supplier for each side of the screen. And Beauty Love Creative, you can be the first person to try this on YouTube. If you put in ! ice cream, so similar to if I do ! time, it'll pull up the time. If Beauty Love Creative could put in ! ice cream, all one word, no gaps. This is a test coming up. It might not work. There's a slight delay. Is that one word or 2 words? And needs to be all in one word, beauty, without the gap between ice and cream. That's it. It's not going to work. Come on, work. No, it didn't work. Give me a second, just updating something. I want to... just get back into that. Do I have to save that? Apparently not. If you could try that again, Beauty. If it doesn't work, I'll have to play with that during the week. Yes, we need a bit of magic, Beauty, yeah. You could try the exclamation ice cream again. I know this is very exciting content. No, that's not working at the moment. Okay, so the YouTube ice cream van isn't working. That's a bit disappointing. In theory, you should. I'd set it up so members over on YouTube could summon the ice cream van. I think it's the trying to work out who's a member and not a member. So I'll have to work on that. I was only playing with it yesterday afternoon, so it was a new feature, and obviously it doesn't work. But so Beauty doesn't miss out on ice cream. Hopefully, if it all works in due course. That's the theory. I'm going to turn it off for the day because it's obviously not working. It's obviously had a mechanical breakdown. Luckily, though, we still have the Twitch ice cream van working. We'll just check that's working. Yeah, that's working. So, I'm afraid YouTube, if you want an ice cream today, you're gonna have to nick it off the Twitch ice cream van. So YouTube, you'll have to wait for that operation for you, but it is in hand. And if I can get that working, there'll be some other little bits and pieces you'll be able to do on your side. Right, let's actually get on with some gardening. Because I'm conscious that it's sunny and I don't really want to get burnt. I'm going to have to take bits of break whenever I can. That flipping spider's there again. It's not anymore. I'm going to have to take the occasional break and just see how the knee goes. How far we get, I don't know, but we'll plod on. The only other admin for this week is to let you know what's coming up if anyone has to drop off. Believe it or not, this coming Friday is the anniversary of our dual streams where we've had a joint YouTube and Twitch stream. I actually had to look up when we've been streaming. We've been streaming live on YouTube for 3.5 years now. But our first joint stream with Twitch was this coming Friday, the anniversary of it. But we did do a stream earlier on Twitch, so it's been over a year on Twitch streaming. So I'm planning on doing something on Friday. There's two options on Friday. There's actually a lunar eclipse on Friday, if no one knew about this. Here in the UK it is at 5 AM in the morning. Well, that's the peak of it. It starts about 3:30 and then it'll be light by the time it finishes, but the peak of it's at 5 AM. If I'm up at 5 AM I might stream it. The only downside to that is that the forecast for Friday isn't very good, so I don't think we're doing that. Now, oh, what the heck is that? That's a ginormous bee. It's gone out now. We've got an insect-ridden stream. So I don't know whether I'll do the lunar eclipse. If I'm up, I'm up, and I might try to do it. It is very early. It's the best lunar eclipse in the UK, I think, until 2028. And believe it or not, lunar eclipses always happen 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after a solar eclipse, which I didn't know about. If we don't do that, there'll probably be an evening stream on the Friday to celebrate the anniversary of the dual streaming. That'll just be a relaxing stream. I haven't got much work on this week. I've got a couple of things to do over the next couple of days, admin wise and general life stuff, but so there may be some pop-up streams this week as well. So they may pop up, more likely going to pop up first thing in the morning or sort of early evening time as usual. Good morning, Fernwood Artist. Right, so I'm going to go out. I'm going to take the phone with me. I can't see everyone's comments while I'm outside. Now the phone's frozen. It's going to be one of those days, I think. Hopefully we shouldn't lose audio, and we shouldn't pixelate for a while. If we do, let us know in the chat. I will read occasionally, and I will come back in. So if we lose it, we might lose it for a few minutes. What I'm going to do is take down the hand basket. I'm going to reposition the camera so you can see what I'm doing, and then we'll make a start on it. There's no point doing a gardening stream without some gardening, is there? Let's get some gloves. Could you hear me when I was down by the plants? guessing by the fact you probably couldn't. Test, yeah, okay, back here. No, right, okay. I'm going to use two mics now. I'm going to use one down. I don't know what's up with these mics. Right, this is the house mic. This is going to make it complicated. House mic test, that's working. Right. Just going to leave the house mic here for a sec. And I'm now going to switch over to the mic with the camera. So let's change the audio. I told you this would be a test stream. And change the audio. Properties, change that to... Hopefully we have audio down here now. If you could let me know in chat, you can actually hear me down here. Testing 1 2 3 4 5. Testing 1 2 3 4 5. 1. Yep. Hey, hello. We have audio down here. So yeah, so we've got two audios. Why? What's up with the range? I have not got a clue. Whether they're picking up some sort of interference or something, I don't know. But we've got one down by the laptop that's running the stream, and I've also got the one connected directly to the camera. So anything around here, we should be okay. Let me just check the YouTube chat. So if I walk backwards and forwards and I lose the audio, remind me to. In fact, actually, I could put both mics on. No, because I need to change it over there. Yeah. Waffle, waffle, waffle. Oh, is this louder, is it? Yeah. Well, this is the one connected to the camera. This is the mic we're usually on. So I'm going to have to play with the audio this week as well. All right. Thanks for that. Right, let's get on and actually do something. Right. Okay. I'm going to attempt fate. I'm going to just move the camera back a bit so you can see what we're doing. But still try to keep you in shade. So, and apologies anyone who's at all seasick. I'm going to drop you down as well. And then hopefully that'll keep you in the shade and keep you cool. To also stop you spending all your channel points on ice cream from the van. Let's zoom you out. Oh, you was. What? Oh, I don't know what's going on today. That shouldn't have happened either. Oh well, never mind. Well, first of all, let's move the hanging basket. And then I can say hello, and then anyone who hasn't seen us before will actually know who they're looking at. Just going to move this basket. Otherwise, we'll be running a comedy stream every time I walk into it. Let's put this somewhere that it's not going to cook. That, oh, yeah, it's quite dry, that basket. Surprises me. Right, where the heck is this shot on here? Okay. Hopefully I'm somewhere in shot. Hello. Up, down. That should mean I'm in shot somewhere. Hello, bear in our merch. This is the Cone Gratulations Ice Cream t-shirt. Available in our Good, Bad, Indifferent stores. Links in all the usual places. Enough merch. So just gonna, it's so bright out here, it's difficult to see what you can see. Oh, I know how I can do it. This is a shambles of a stream, this is. Morning Sturgeon. Ah, that's better. I can actually see what I'm doing now. Just check. New Loans just suggested a new comedy show, Bear in the Basket Case. Yeah, it is starting to end up a bit like that. No wonder I couldn't see what I was doing, because I paused the actual video. Chat was running, but I couldn't see. That wasn't very impressive, was it? So I'm going to need to drop you down a bit. So, in fact, what I might do is look. That's the limit. Ooh. That really will make anyone seasick, that one would. Right, okay. Hopefully you can see, be able to roughly see what I'm doing. If not, use your imagination. Right, this is the clematis that we cleared. I'll take my glasses off because I don't need them while I'm doing this. This is the clematis we took apart and took off the trellis a fortnight ago because it had literally grown out to about here. The clematis already is sprouting new leaves. That's in a fortnight. So we're which is what I wanted to do, because this clematis here is a spring flowering clematis. So I wanted to get some growth on here over the autumn, late summer, autumn, and then it'd be ready to flower in the spring. Yeah, there's new shoots all over the place on it, so we haven't done it any harm. Clematis is a fairly tough plant. There's a few straggly bits of dead stuff hanging around. I'll just tuck all that in there. So I'm just tucking in any bits that are irritating me. Bit of a twiggy thing. That's a technical term in gardening, a twiggy thing. Right, so what we have here, the front part was extended. There was a box hedge that ran here across around there. That was the original bed. The box has got box blight and it's basically finished and gone. In fact, it's gone all the way down to there. There's one box plant hanging on there, but that'll go as well. So the little box hedge has gone. So, and then last year I extended it slightly further. There was some new plants. These are the alpine plants, done in the same way I've done all the other flower beds. The plants that were in this corner have basically died off, and that was because everything had overgrown and it wasn't getting any sunlight at all. And also because of the stuff overgrowing, not only was the sunlight, the water wasn't getting down to it either. So it's a sort of double whammy for any plants that are there. So the plan is we're going to rake off the stones, see what's under there, because I have a suspicion there's a load of rubble, because this is where there used to be a pond. And I think I used the rubble to fill the pond when I knocked it down. We'll take that off, see how bad it is under there. We'll see if we can dig some holes in, and then we'll put the plants in. And if the plants don't go in, and they sort of raised by 2 or 3 inches, we'll plant them as deep as we can, and then we'll top it up with compost. And if we have to top it up with compost, we'll put one of the rubber edges that we've got in as a barrier to stop that tipping over into the front. And then over time the plants should grow over and into, not grow, the roots should go down and then fill in that area, as long as we keep this fairly well back. I think the trouble is, I haven't really chopped this back since I planted it. It's just got overgrown, so it really needs a trim every year and bring it back. Certainly on this side. The other side's not so important. So that's the plan. I'll just check the comments before I start making a mess. And I've gone at least 5 minutes without mentioning my knee. I think there may be an ad break coming up fairly soon on Twitch. Apologies if you have to watch that, but thanks if you do watch the ads. It is appreciated. If you don't want the ads on Twitch, you know what to do. Use your Prime sub or get a sub for the channel. You get your ad-free viewing in your remotes. But everyone knows what we're talking about. Don't need to repeat it too often. Just see what's happening on YouTube. We're flicking between the two. Morning, Christian. We'll go back to... I am watching the actual stream itself actually on Twitch, because that's a few seconds ahead of YouTube stream. So I'm flicking between the two. So let's just check that it is running from mind. Oh, that wasn't a nice sound. Let's pull something up in the screen and see whether it picks that up. Or have I frozen it again? Yeah. Oh, it's because I come off it, that's why. Right, okay. Yep, so that's working. So I'm just going to use it's a joint, it's a sort of combined, I don't know what that is actually now, like, it's like little, what's that, what, come on, chat will know what that is. It's got a special name, I can't remember. Basically it's got two sides, it's got a fork. I'm using that instead of a rake because it's a bit tougher. I know this is going to be hard work. We also have in here, we do have irrigation in here, believe it or not. Don't know why, because I never use it. I think I put it in originally when I first moved here, and then never got round to using it. It's a push that in there for the timing. It's basically a hose pipe with lots of little holes in it. So just going to rake off some of the debris. Some of the debris we had from when we cut back the clematis. There's a few bits. Take all the loose stuff off. Yeah. Gonna take out. There's a Carex grass plant there. That's basically had it. So just taking off as much of the rubbish. This hasn't actually got a black liner like we've done previously, but the rest of this bed hasn't got a black liner, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just moving the mic slightly because it keeps hitting my chin. That sounds pretty stony to me. So there is there's an old solar light there. Oh, I forgot that was in there. Must be another one here somewhere. There it is. I remember putting this in when I first built this. When I took out the pond, we first put the bed in. An awful lot of this debris. Okay, so that can sit there for the time being. That can go. That's a bit of clematis. That can go up there. Climb through there. This is very exciting gardening. That's a bit of the watering system. Which can come. It's either the watering system or it's a. Oh, that's where the pipe goes. Okay, I understand now. I can remember now. Either that or it's a very odd looking snake. Don't have to worry, we don't know. Well, we do have snakes in the UK, but not in the garden. I'll put that in there. That can pretend to be a clematis for the time being. Just check the stream's still running. Thanks for putting up for the ads. I see Lone's filling the chat full of information. In fact, Lone's actually put in about pruning groups and numbered categories created by the RHS. I never knew that. Thanks for that, Lone. You see, that's the advantage of these streams. Hopefully they're a bit of fun, but also I learn and you learn something new each week, and that's something I didn't know about. Oh yeah, there's questions over on YouTube about the implement I'm using. Go back into that. I must remember to press that. Press that. Yep. So just check the stream's still running. Yep. The implement I'm using is essentially a hoe. Yeah, it's oh, ow, bashed me bad knee. Yeah, knee again. So it's got a solid blade on that side with a sharp edge. So I suppose it is similar to a hoe. And then on the other side, it's got the prongs, so it's like a three-pronged, like a trident fork, I suppose. Neptune's like Neptune has. Except I don't know if Neptune's trident is actually three-pronged. I assume it is because it's a trident. Take my glasses off because otherwise they'll end up in the flower bed. So I'm going to pull that plant back. There's actually quite a lot of stones in there, so back to there, that can go to there. So I'm just literally going to lightly, because this has got the slopes on the top surface like we've got elsewhere in the garden. So that's all plant material. So I'm just going to lightly, I'm never going to get all the slate out. If we get the top surface of slate off, not only will it make digging easier, but it's also give us something to top dress it with. It's quite deep. I'm going down to the soil now. I'm not so bothered about going on the edges because we won't get in there anyway, because you've got the roots of the clematis there. The root of, I can't remember which one plant that is. Here, can't remember what that is. It's flowering at the moment on the back. So what we do have in here, we've got some azalea there, some chocolate cosmos, which I'm just about to bury. In fact, I've just buried a plant there, which I think, what's that? Yeah, there's a thyme there as well. So these are drought resistant plants. So I think there is a lot of stone in here. You can probably hear that. That's going to be fun. Right. There is also, in the back corner, what I quite often do is the old hanging baskets and so on. I tend to, if we're not going to reuse the compost, tend to shove them at the back of a bed, and then over time they break down because basically it's just compost and roots. That's what was in that back corner. So we'll drag that out as well. So just see what's in the comments, if I've missed anything. Morning, Ali. It's certainly very early morning for you. What I'll do is I'll take you off the stand for a sec. Just going to move you because you're right in the sunshine here, and I think you're getting a little bit warm. So again, I'm going to drop you down a bit so you can actually see what we're doing actually on the ground. Plus, it also keeps the camera in the shade. What's that look like? Yeah, that's a bit better for you. I think that's probably a better view. So, oh, I can kneel on one knee. Assuming there's not a piece of slate I'm kneeling on. So this is just the section we've got to do here. It's what, about 3 foot by, it's about 3 foot by 3 foot in size. We've got the clematis coming up there in various directions. We've got clematis there as well. We've got this shrub. So we won't be able to dig anywhere close to that because there'll be so many roots. So really we're restricted to an area that's probably 3 foot there by 2 foot, 2.5 foot square, something like that. I want to put some taller stuff in the back. I've got another fuchsia which can go in there and go up that fence and compete with the clematis, because obviously this clematis only flowers in the spring, so it's got no colour, that bit of trellis, in the summer. So at least the fuchsia will do that for us. And then we'll see if we can get something in here as well. The only issue I know we will have is that the box plants here, so there was a row here and going around there, they've all died off and I've cut them back, but trying to get their roots out at the moment is near impossible. I know on the other side we had the same thing last year, and I managed to get the roots out this year because they sort of rotted off over the winter, so I think that's the plan for those. So this sort of first 6 inches we can't do much, and then 6 inches there, 6 inches, you can do the maths. So let's see what we've got to go in. I think anyone who was here a couple of weeks ago probably saw these, because these are the ones I got from the bargain shelf in the DIY store. Oh. Check we're not in ads or anything stupid. Morning, Cadvision. Loan's been, it's a mattock, that's what it is, that's the word, loan. It's got the flathead is a mattock, and a fork on the other side. I'll just check on the chat while I'm stood here looking, check that everything's running. Yeah, I think a mattock's a very common tool, certainly in gardening, because it's good. We can use it as a digging tool or a trenching tool, or just like a hoe for taking the weeds off. I don't tend to use it that much personally, because the garden's set up to the garden's really set up now as a country style where you're trying to limit the amount of actual digging or weeding, because you're trying to smother stuff and so on. But I use a proper hoe, this sort of thing that looks like, I'm demonstrating it to the phone, which isn't a great deal of help on a live stream, is it? Your hoe would have a flat edge, like that, and then it would have like a like a U or a V shape coming off down to the handle. So that's the edge, and then you have the U V shaped off down to the handle, and the purpose of that is the weeds come through and they get cut off there, and then they can fall through the hole. Of all the gardening tools, I think that's my favourite. Really, that's really good for weeding. It's also, because it's on a long handle, you can stand up and you can get the hoe in between plants and weed. Not so easy where you've got stones, though, I have to say. It's easier in the front beds that aren't stoned, because then that's just soil and you can just glide over and chop the weeds off. It's very good for that. So, right, let's show you some plants, because we technically should be doing some plants. So, we've got this blue plant. So that's its technical name. I don't know where the label's gone. Can I see the label? No, don't know. I don't know. This is a professional gardening stream, so it's a blue plant, little blue flowers. It's also got slightly silvery leaves. Silvery leaves, an indication that it's quite often a maritime type plant, so it prefers sort of drier situations. So that's hopefully going to go in somewhere like that, because it's got a bit of height. Oh yeah, some of these have got no labels on. I think that's probably why they were being flogged off cheap. This is the fuchsia we got cheap. Little pink and white flowers. It comes with a little trellis, which we don't really need, but we'll keep it on for the time being. That's going to go in there, and hopefully that's going to go and mix in with the clematis. So they're two tall plants. I do know what this one is. So 1 out of 3 is not bad. This is just get that. That's a scabiosa. If you remember, we've had Scabiosa Beaujolais in the garden. This is Scabiosa. I think it's pink mist. Don't quote me on that. Some of these flowers have already gone over, so we can probably take some of these off, tidy it up a little bit. Because also if you take the seed heads off after they're flowered, to encourage the plant to generate more flowers. And because it's been so hot this summer, what I'm hoping for a lot of these flowers is that we've had a little bit of rain this week, not a huge amount, but hopefully we can get a second flush of flowers sort of September, October here. So scabious, so that's going to be roughly about that sort of height. So that can go in somewhere about there. Then we've got 2 more to put in. Now, me being a gardening expert, I know what this is, a cordyline red star. Nothing to do with the fact there's a label on it, but it's cordyline red star. So that's a grass, sort of architectural, quite nice in the winter. A little bit of movement through it. How tall is this? This could get quite big, I think. Does it actually say? Yeah, so this is going to get pretty big. This could get to 4 metres in 10 years. So this could be a huge plant. So I'm going to put that in somewhere there, give it room to spread, and also a bit of trickle factor over the edge. Cordylines quite often, though, you can cut them back really hard. I've got one in the front garden that literally I cut back down to ground level, and it's resprouted and grown like anything. So you can treat them pretty rough. And quite often you also get secondary or third or fourth uprights coming from the base as well. So as long as you keep on top of it, that's fine. Or if you want a really big garden plant, you can get something like a cordyline, and then there are loads of different types of cordylines. So 4 metres, if you think about it, 4 metres is just almost as tall. It's getting 2/3 of the way up the house, so you wouldn't really, unless you've got a really big garden, you won't want to leave that. But as long as you keep, it's like any plant, as long as you keep on top of it, it'll be okay. And then for a little bit of colour, we have a dianthus. Hopefully this is in screen. And again, because I'm an expert and I can read the label, this is sugar raspberry. I've got a lot of dianthus in the garden. And again, this has got a number of dead flowers on it, which are going to seed. So I'll just take those off. And that should encourage it to keep flowering. Same applies for all flowers really. If you want to keep the plant flowering, take off the seed heads, because otherwise the energy goes into the seed heads and the plant thinks it's done its job. It also tidies the plant up as well. Just a little bit of deadheading. That looks a much better plant, because that's a bit of colour that can go in there, and it's also relatively low growing. So that's sort of the plan. So we've got 5 holes to dig. Wish me luck. I'm not looking forward to this. But I say if we can get these plants in a couple of inches, 3 inches, and the top 2 inches stick out, we'll top it up with some compost. I'll probably top it up with some compost anyway, just to improve the soil. I suspect that it's lost a lot of its oomph, this soil, to the plants. So that's the plant. So we'll take those out, move them out of the way so I don't trip over them. I'm going to start with those two because they'll be at the back. Before I make a start, let's just check the comments. Welcome in anyone who's new. Thanks, Andy. Thanks for being here. Enjoy your lunch. Morning, Tinker. Yeah, Scabiosa. Yeah. I did get the name right. Pink Mist. Yeah, I haven't up until this year hadn't actually grown Scabiosa in the garden. But the Scabiosa Beaujolais, which I put in the spring, that's been fantastic. It is a bit of a can be a bit of a pest plant in the outside world, because what it does, it has lots of little burrs come off it on the seed heads, and if you're walking along and you find little burrs attached to your trousers, that's quite often Scabiosa, or they can catch onto your pets and so on. Look like little sort of bear claws. It's a pretty enough flower, so just go and check the YouTube chat. Yeah, Loan's put in about the pink mist. So yeah, so it's going to grow just over a foot and a half. And it'll flower the late spring right through to the first frost. Full sun, well draining soil. Well, this isn't going to mean full sun, but hopefully it's going to get enough sun. It doesn't get sun at the moment, you can see it's shady here. But as the sun moves round, it'll be in full sun all afternoon. So hopefully that's enough for it. And then hopefully, just changing what. Then hopefully it'll flower, as I say, it'll give a bit of colour, because then we'll have the Scabiosa. Where did I say that was going to go? Scabiosa will be there, giving a bit of colour and height. And that's the other thing about this. We've got the taller plants at the back, medium and the shorter. I think if anyone saw the premiere last weekend we had on YouTube, for doing baskets and tubs, where they use the phrase friller, spiller, friller, filler and spiller. Friller, filler and spiller. So you've got the frillers, which are the tall plants at the back, the dramatic ones. The fillers, which are the middle ones, which are going to be the Scabiosa type. And then we'll have the dianthus on the front, which will be the spiller plant. So the tall ones are the frillers, spillers. We'll get this right eventually. Frillers, fillers and spillers. Basically, tall, medium, low. And then what you should then get is a gradient of colour. That's the plan anyway. So we're going to attempt to dig a hole now. I don't know how many Twitch streams or YouTube streams will be show digging holes at the moment, but I don't think there'll be that many. You do see people live streaming with diggers digging holes. You can probably hear it's going to be tough going. To some extent, we might end up being better just to sort of like drag out a hole. Let's say if I can get a couple to 3 inches down, I'll be happy with that and top it up. But this is just filled full of slate, and I have a suspicion it's got the rubble underneath it as well. You could use like a spade or something, but you just wouldn't get through it. I mean, look, we're a couple of inches down now, and it's just stone. It's just slate. I will get all these plants in today because really they need to go in. It's not doing them any good sat out in pots. So I think all I'm managing to do here is loosen the soil. The other issue we've got at the moment is because it's so dry, this soil just is crumbling. If it was being sort of wetter, it would have come out in lumps. But this is just, I think there's as much slate in that hole as there is soil. Where's me mattock? Now we know its proper name. Probably in reality you almost probably need a pickaxe for this job. I'm trying not to chop my foot off. If I chop my foot off, if someone could actually clip it for me, because if I'm going to chop my foot off with a mattock, I at least want to make something out of it. You can see actually it's a very good tool, this. In fact, actually it's better than the fork. Well, that's actually gone surprisingly better than I thought. I would say that hole is now. Yeah, you have to always remember that men always overestimate length, but I would say that's about 4 inches deep. So. Yeah, I'm starting to get down to some roots now if the clematis, so I don't want to. Not going to achieve much more than that. Because if you've got a clematis, the important thing is to keep the roots underground. Because then, if the clematis died back, it only goes as far as the ground. You can chop it off, and anything under the ground doesn't get it, and it can regenerate. So, I'm surprised how much slate there is underneath the top surface. Right. I'm not going to worry about too much more of that, I think. Let's just get some of the... In the ideal world, you want a sort of hole to match the plant. But as we know, this isn't the ideal world. So I'm going to take this out of the pot. It has got this little framework on the back. We don't really need that. But I'm going to leave it on because otherwise it'll disturb the roots. I want to get that as far back as possible. So something like that. If I lean it back slightly, hopefully it will start to go that way. That's gone in really well, that has. I'm not going to have to top this up, I don't think. Then I'm just going to backfill it with the soil that's come out. Actually, that's gone surprisingly better than I thought. Hello. That's cheered me up, that has. Chuck a bit of soil around the back as well. All these plants have been stood in a tray of water for the last couple of days, so their root balls are pretty wet already. So they won't need a huge amount of water in the first day or so. But what you want to do is water, because that will get the finer bits of soil around the base of the plant. Now you can actually press this into place, but with these bigger plants, ow, ow, you can use the heel. And you just sort of use the heel to firm the plant in. The purpose of that is that the heel gives you a point force rather than using your hands, which you just don't get. Yeah, a bit more force through. And what you're doing is you're pressing. You're not trying to squidge the root ball itself. What you're trying to do is firm the soil around the plant, so it's in contact with the root ball of the new plant is in contact with the soil. And also, if it's windy, it's not going to blow about, because if you just put it in the hole, put a bit of soil around it, first bit of breeze you get, it's just going to blow it backwards and forwards. And then if any roots do start to grow out, every time the wind comes along and it moves, it's going to break those roots, so it'll never escape that root ball. So by doing that sort of healing process, that sort of gives it a bit more firm, what's the word would be, formation. Let's make up a new word, formation, in the soil. If you were going to have a bigger plant, you'd probably want to stake it or tie it to something, but this is fine. That's one down. Loan's saying to hydrate, I'm going to do that. Morning, Liz. Loan, oh, that's very funny, Loan. If I chop my own foot off, I've clipped it myself, yes. Right, Loan's requested me to go and get something to drink. I'll leave the mic here because we know it's going to cut off, and just get myself something to drink, and then I'll come back to you. So I won't switch to the indoor mic because all I'm doing is going to go get a drink. So I'll be back in a moment. Right, I'm back. Just check. Oh, morning, Alex. Over on YouTube. Yeah, Loan's talking about standardised time in the UK. It was all to do with the railways, wasn't it, Loan, I think? I mean, that's why they standardised time in the UK. So we're going to put this next one in. So I'm going to do exactly the same as we did before. I'm just going to try to break up the worst of this with a fork. Again, if the fork goes through your foot or chop it off, do clip it. If nothing else, the hospital would probably like to see how I did it. Because when you go into the hospital and say, what were you doing? I was live streaming as a bear in a garden. Sorry, as a bear and the garden. And I was live streaming, digging a hole with a fork, and the fork went straight through my foot. And they would say, what were you doing? Were you dressed up as a bear? I would say there's a funny story, but it's not very funny, that my mum was a teacher years and years ago, and they were doing a sports day, and someone had a javelin go through their leg. Oh, I can't tell you anything more about that, about how it happened or anything, but that's the story. And I actually know where exactly it happened because I've seen the crime scene. Yeah, obviously years and years later, but this is a bit tougher. This is because this is closer to the roots. So I'm going to abandon the fork and we'll go for the mattock. And the advantage of the mattock is you can actually draw stuff away from the hole so it's not filling itself back in. What the heck is that? Is that a wire? Oh, it's a bit of that's a bit of liner. Fabric, that's like the fabric liner we put down on the other beds. Oh, I don't remember ever doing that. Perhaps that's why we can't dig through that. There, okay. Well, perhaps we did put some liner down then originally. I don't honestly remember that. I mean, admittedly, it is 8 years ago. Oh no, it's all over.
that hole. It wasn't in the other hole. So it must just, perhaps it was just where I planted some plants. Oh, that's going to make it interesting. Well, I'm not going to get through that. Doesn't make much difference. The roots will get through it because you can see where roots have got through it. Huh. Yeah, that's quite a big. I'm surprised we didn't hit it there. Because we went deeper than that. Must just be in this back corner for some reason. Right, well this is where, that's about as deep as we're going to get. So this is, now, that is about 2 inches deep. This plant is about 3.5 inches deep. So we'll do the best we can. This has got root ball. It's not particularly compact actually. There's not much root at the bottom of this pot. So we could have probably actually cut a bit off there. But I think we can probably squidge that down a bit. That's not going to be far off. By the time we put some, that's probably only be sort of half an inch, perhaps an inch above. By the time we put some soil around it, I don't think that's going to be far off. It's a bit shallow at the back, but I think at the front it's fine. I can use some of the old compost from the pots to shove at the back, which I'll probably do now actually, before I forget. I'll stand back up now, haven't I? Well, actually, what we'll do first. So this is old compost from an old hanging basket. Oh, actually, it's an old trough, actually. Because as you know, I don't tend to, when we take the old baskets, I don't tend to throw them away. I tend to keep them growing and then see what survives. So this is an old one. So I'm just going to break that up into bits. I'm going to chuck it round the back of it, and this will eventually break down into some nice compost anyway. And it'll top up the soil at the back. There's actually also in here, there's actually still some slow release fertiliser. I haven't put any slow release fertiliser in these holes. A couple of reasons for that is that if you put fertiliser immediately below the root ball, these plants, those little roots that go out will find the fertiliser and think, oh, we found food, no point going any further. And what I want to do is think, they go down, oh, we can't find anything, they'll go a bit further, can't find anything, they'll go a bit further. And that's how you get your bigger root ball. I'll probably top dress it with a bit of fertiliser or something in the autumn that can then break down and get into the soil over winter. But that's the reason we don't put any fertiliser in this. Slightly different if you were doing a basket. So that's that one in. Going to stand up again. Just come back and look at the chat for a sec. Just check we've still got a picture and we haven't pixelated or anything. Morning, Orange. Orange Hue over on Twitch is they've been digging holes for their shade house posts. It's quite fun digging holes, isn't it? Let me just I'll go back over, just check the other chat. Alex over on YouTube, they found a meteorite in your ground. Wow. I haven't found a meteorite in this ground. If I found a meteorite in this ground, I'd be starstruck. Okay, everyone can groan now. I don't know, I've said this on stream before, but this, where these houses are, the houses around here were built, I think my house was built about 1930, something like that. But this was, prior to being built on, this was a set of allotments, just basic, which are basically large plots of land, got them all over the UK, large plots of land where people who lived in a house who didn't have a garden could go out, grow some fruit and veg and so on. So I'm going to do the, what shall I do next? I think I'm going to do the scabiosa. Oop. So again, I'm just going to loosen up the soil. This should become a bit easier as we go because we're getting a bit further away from the roots, hopefully. So the actual soil here is very good. Admittedly, it hasn't been an allotment for what, 100 odd years. So yeah, so we have hit some roots there. That's almost certainly a root from clematis, I think. Oh, I'll dig around that. So you can see what a good tool that mattock is. Because not only does it dig, but you can then draw it back, and it draws the stuff out the hole, the sword out the hole. So let's get on with this scabiosa. Ooh. Struggling a bit with my knee now. Scabiosa's in there. Try to position it so the flowers are sort of so I'm going to firm that in. That's not far off, and then just put the soil around it. Oh, I forgot to step on that with my heel, didn't I? No one told me, did they? Or did you? Now you can see there's quite a lot of soil mixed in with the stone, but eventually that will wash through. So before I forget, I'm going to just heel in that plant. I'm going to heel in the scabiosa. Not so important with the scabiosa because it's fairly low growing. And again, when you water it, the soil will go in and fill in all the little bits and pieces you missed. Next one we do is the cordyline. I say it will go to 4 metres, but I just want it to grow sort of that sort of height, perhaps, what's that, about a metre, something like that. And once it starts to get too big, I'll just chop it back and it can come up again. So if you wanted to as well, you could fill in these gaps with some annual bedding if you wanted, but there's not a lot of point at this time of the year to do that. If you're doing this in the spring, well, you could do just fill in the gaps while these plants grow up. This one doesn't need such a big hole because it's not in such a big pot. You always want to dig a hole that's marginally bigger than the pot, because if you put it in to a hole exactly the same size, what happens is, because the soil around the outside of the hole is compacted, any roots in the pot will struggle to go out, so you always want to give it a chance for its roots to get out. That's what you're trying to do with planting all the plants. You want it to get its roots growing and developing, because eventually that's what's going to feed the plant, and it's not you having to feed it all the time. So this is the cordyline. I think they were quite sort of popular in the sort of 70s and 80s. Yeah, it's not coming. This just by touching that, hasn't got much of a root ball on it. Oh, it is. It's not too bad, but so these were all bargain plants. So we'll just cover that back up, firm that in by hand. I probably will, even though I won't feed this, I'll probably top dress it with some of the old compost, similar to what I've done with that. Firstly, the old compost has got a little bit of food in it, but the other thing is it'll act as a mulch. There's lots of stones, these stakes going back on, to reduce the amount of weeds, but it'll keep down some weeds for this year. But also, when we water these, it'll keep the moisture in, which is the purpose of having slate on all the flower beds as well. It's not just decorative, but it does a job of keeping moisture in as well. And I'll do this one and then I'll come back to the chat. Oh. Heal that in. And then this one we want to try to this is very, very loose already. It's just not going to take much digging out. Oh, there's a pot there which I nearly fell over. It's usually a sign you're starting to get a bit tired is when you start falling over stuff. I should really check that you haven't gone into pixel mode. It's the wrong chat. £3 meteorite. £3. That's quite a bit. I don't know what that is in kilograms, but that's quite an amount. I don't know how long. It'd be interesting to know when that landed. I assume it must have landed possibly hundreds of thousands of years ago. So I'm just looking up at the sky now, just in case there's a meteorite about to land on my head. if we get a similar to if I dig in there and chopping my foot off, if we happen to get a meteorite land on my head, do clip it, because even though I won't be able to use it, the beneficiaries of my will be able to benefit from being hit by a meteorite. I don't know how many views you'd get on YouTube and Twitch if you got smacked on the head by a meteorite. It's probably happened at some point somewhere. I don't know whether it would have been live streamed, but someone must have videoed something like that happening. So this is again, doesn't have to be a big hole because the plant's not in a big pot. So this is Dianthus, being the expert I am. You read the label, Dianthus sugar raspberry. Most garden centres or DIY stores or places you buy these, everything you need to know is on the label. So this gardening lark, it can be as simple as that. You go in the garden centre, oh, that's pretty. It's got a nice scent to it as well. It's got like a candy smell to it. I don't know whether that's where it gets its name sugar raspberry from. It has got like a candy smell to it. You go, oh, yeah, that looks good, smells nice. Well, I'll buy that. But it's always good to have a quick perusal of the label to see whether it's going to survive in your garden. Or the other way is you just look in your garden to see what's already grown there. Or look in your neighbours' gardens. And you can see that's actually quite pot bound. What I mean by pot bound is its roots are starting to circle around the bottom of the pot. So even if that was to stay in the pot, you'd want to repot that. So that, what you can do on these, if it's severely root bound, you can just sort of what they call is tease out the roots. Just slightly, just with your thumb, just break up the bottom of the pot to create a little bit of room for it, but that's not too bad. It was not far off having to be repotted. So that's in there. Just put the soil around there. I'm not going to heal that one in because I've just teased out the roots. If I heal that back in, all I'm going to do is squidge that bit that I've just opened up with my fingers. So I'm going to leave, and it doesn't need to be healed in that because it's low growing. It's not going to get blown around by the wind. And it will be firmed up anyway when we water it, and all the little particles of soil will go in around it. So what I want to do now is move some of the stones back off the plants that are already here. There's actually a little azalea in here as well. There's actually room for a couple more plants. 1, 2 probably drought resistant plants. So I'll have to have a hunt for something to go in there. We've got some thyme, and we've got there's a hardy geranium there. Actually, that goes in there. So we only really need perhaps one to go in here. So to summarise, we've got the fuchsia. We've got this really pretty silvery green leafed blue flowered plant. That's a very technical description. We've got the scabiosa pink mist. We've got the Dianthus strawberry, sugar raspberry, cordyline. I'm just going to take some of these fuchsia flowers off that are finished flowering, so it grows rather than creates seed. Yeah. So I'm pleased with that. The question is, can I get back up now? Just do the pots. So in the end I didn't have to use the edging to build it up, which would have been okay, but looks better. I don't know if it look a lot better than it did a few weeks ago. Move those back. I'll put the hanging basket back up, which does need watering. So as soon as the stream's over, that's what I'm going to end up doing, is watering everything. These hanging baskets are struggling a bit, really, to be honest. They're nowhere near as good as previous years. I think it's just because it's been so hot. It's not because they're dry, it's just been so hot. The plants have just struggled every day. How many attempts does it take to put the hanging basket back up? So, let's zoom you in to see. Let's bring you over to here so you can have a better view of it. It's a little bit dark, but I'm just going to lower you down. So, what are we looking at? So we've got the what we've got is we've got the scabios, which are the pink ones, the fuchsia over there, that unknown blue one there, the dianthus, which is the pink there, and at the back we've got the cordyline. And then mixed in it we've got there's a azalea there which will probably benefit from the extra light. In fact, actually just in the last fortnight it's got some new green leaves on it. We've got a hardy geranium growing under the tripod. So that's what that looks like. Right. You're just going to come back with me towards the house. I'm just going to have a hydration break and then we'll do a bit of a garden tour. Oh, sorry. Plus also it brings the camera back into the full shade for a few moments. Whew. I'll just turn off the second mic because we don't really need that. Just have a drink. I'll just catch up on chat. Oh yeah, I'm afraid the gnome, had a heavy night last night. That was a good spot. Morning VK. Thanks for following. I think that means worked. If I just double check. Good to see you here as well, VK. Welcome to the chaos of the garden. Yeah, as you can see, I'll see if I can zoom in on Mr. Garden Gnome. If I can even remember. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's the Garden Gnome. Had a heavy night last night, sleeping off to recover. It's hard work being a garden gnome, I'm afraid. So, if anyone's got any questions what we've done today, chuck them in the chat and I can probably see it. But we're not trying to create the world on these streams. We're trying to do the gardening in fairly routine ways that anyone can follow, and anyone new to gardening can have a go. I think I deserve a treat, so I'm going to check that the redeem's working. Yep, that works. Hopefully, I managed to grab an ice cream. I hope you all managed to grab an ice cream as well. Did I need to test anything else? No, it stays all the same. They stay the same. Yep, so that stays the same. So close that down. Don't need that. Apparently, Lone seems to have managed to acquire quite a lot of ice cream on that visit. I'm just going to finish this drink. I'll do a few updates while I'm sat here having a slurp, and then we'll do a garden tour. Hopefully the camera would have cooled down by then. Oh, that's good cold drink. YouTube, you've got all your usual content this week, all your shorts, your Tuesday and Thursday lunchtime videos, and Saturday premiere. I've already made it, it's already up there, ready to go for next Saturday. The reason for trying to get ahead of schedule is I've got a couple of things to do this week, which I'm doing for me and not for the stream or whatever. So I wanted to try to clear as much of this week as possible. If everything runs to plan, certainly tomorrow and possibly Tuesday, I'll have opportunity to run some bonus streams this week. So there may be some pop-up streams as the week goes on. With a bit of luck, I might be able to try to get the YouTube's ice cream van working. Pity it didn't work today. It should do. It's just the connection between YouTube and Streamlabs, I think. So we'll try that. So there will be bonus live streams this week. I intend to stream Friday. If it's clear in the morning at about 5 a.m, between 4 and 6 really, peaking at 5, we've got the lunar eclipse. But the forecast isn't particularly good at the moment for the end of the week, but we all know what weather forecasts are like. And we also depends on what time I can wake up. We'll probably do an evening stream, whatever happens, on Friday, because that would be the anniversary of our first dual YouTube and Twitch stream, even though we were streaming on separate platforms before that. But that was a year ago on Friday, was the first combined stream as such. In fact, we streamed on Twitch more than a year ago, but actually exactly this day last year, 23rd of August, was when we ran the first proper Twitch stream, not all the test streams that ran before that, but the first proper stream on its own right. And then obviously a few days later we did the combined streams. So we'll do something for that. So there might be some pop-ups middle of the week. I might do a morning pop-up, which is good for the Europeans sort of early on. But I tried to do the evening ones for our North American friends. And then, so we'll try to do something Friday. And then whatever happens, we'll be back on Sunday next weekend for our normal Sunday live stream. So bear in mind, you may suddenly get a notification, or I'll try to post ahead of time if I'm going to do anything significant. There may be the odd test stream on one or other platform, may not be a dual stream. So there may be the odd YouTube or Twitch test stream this week as well. Maybe on for a few minutes. So we're getting up. We've done a couple of hours now. I'll do a quick tour, show you some of the better plants we've got in the garden at the moment, and I'll probably leave a full tour for midweek in an evening when I can reposition, because we are slightly limited on our reach today, but I can do the tour around near the house. If we go pixelated, which we may do on this tour, apologies when I come back. I'm not going to take, I don't even know, oh yeah, I can see the phone from here actually. It's too far to go and get the phone all the way up the garden. It's a good thing that I remembered where it was there, because otherwise I'd have completely and utterly forgotten about it. I'll collect that on the way back. If we go pixelated, apologies, we'll come back and reset. Have another go. Morning, Ali BHG. Yes, if anyone hadn't seen what the weather's like here. That's what the weather's like here. It's much more manageable at the moment here. It's still dry, but it is manageable. Right, let's go and see if we can see some plants. Oh, before I can't move out the chair. Pick up the. We'll do some of the usuals. we'll have more time really midweek when we aren't actually gardening to do a proper tour. Hopefully we don't pixelate. If we do, apologies. Let's see if we can find some stuff in the sunshine that you can actually see. This is a bit breezy today. That's a fuchsia rigatoni, I think. That's Verbena. Loads of different types of Verbena. It's one of the tall varieties. I think it's Borealis or something like that. The fuchsias are looking pretty good. The bees are enjoying the fuchsias at the moment. Where's the camera pointing? Camera's pointing down. Let's move the camera up a little bit so it's more horizontal. Yeah, that's a bit better. That's Lady Boothby. This is the other thing, even though it's not particularly hot today, things will dry out quick today because of the wind. Then that's Jeannie. And more Lady Boothby. See if we can find a bee. There's thousands of bees. That's what's going in there. There are thousands of bees. Well, perhaps thousands is an exaggeration, but there must be several hundred bees on there. Oh, you're all around me. Those we've got the old hardy geraniums, Roseanne. They like those as well. Strange thing is, I've just noticed they all seem to be landing on the back of the flowers for some reason, not on the front. Don't know why that would be. Got some salvias, which are just starting to suffer from the heat. Except you can't see that because I'm creating a shadow on it. I'm causing an eclipse. In fact, if I come ahead of you, that would probably help. Got some cosmos. I've moved the pots of Cropsis into the flower bed, mainly to fill in some gaps. We got the peacock orchid. It's a nice looking gazanier there. The old daisies. I'm not sure which variety, but daisy family. These are probably the most spectacular at the moment. These are the Osteospermums. Stunning little alpine flowers. Succulents, if you've got a drought garden, very good. Let me pick up the phone as I'm walking past. We're in an ad break, I can see. So we'll just wait. If you've got a sub to the channel on Twitch or use your Prime sub, you get your ad-free viewing plus your emotes. Thanks to anyone who's got a sub over on Twitch. Thanks to all the members over on YouTube. We're slowly improving the members' content over on YouTube, so you will get a few extra tools. So you will see some changes. I'll probably go into more details. We've got a stream coming up in about, I think about 6 weeks' time, when we can't get out in the garden that day. We'll do a sit down stream, and we can go through the plans where we're going because of all the changes on YouTube. Hopefully we're out the ads. I'm going to pick up my phone and put it in the pocket. It actually does the what's the image look like? It's okay at the moment. So come back round to here. This is what we started the stream off with. This is Nicotiana, the tobacco plant. A nice looking. So we've got some nice. Still have some nice flowers in the basket. So double Petunia, little fuchsia there, and then this is obviously what we've done today. So this is the Scabiosa pink mist. That's the raspberry dianthus there, with the cordyline behind, and that blue flowers there, and the fuchsia there. So you just see, just with a morning's work, looks a lot better in it already. The main trick is really to keep this, keep the clematis back, keep some light coming through to it. But you see the sunlight starting to come around here now. We come over to this side. This is never the hanging basket. Petunias, Lobelia. I was trying to capture a big bumblebee, but he wasn't that keen. That's the Salvia hot lips there. This is the little section we did a few weeks ago, where we've got some fuchsias in here and some salvias at the front. We've got some more cosmos. It's very easy plants. If you want to try growing something from seed, try cosmos. Loads of different varieties, different heights, different colours. They're very easy to grow from seed. You can tell we're sort of getting towards the autumn, end of summer anyway, because we're starting to get some rose hips, which are the fruit of the roses. Coming into the bottom of the garden, that's black-eyed Susan, Rebecca's. There's another, another Gasnier there. I say these were by the greenhouse. I brought them forward because I thought possibly they could go into the sections that I had cleared. I don't know, I might just put them either side of the arch now, because when they're down by the greenhouse you don't see them from the house. That's a bit of a pity. So some more little fuchsias. Coming to the bottom of we've still got a bit of cable to go. So these are the strawberry runners we did a couple of weeks ago, probably 3 weeks ago now. And there was some more to do on here. You can see that that's almost ready to be cut off. You see what? So we've got another strawberry plant there. We've still got a few flowers floating around. The veg patch has been pretty much a disaster. The beans have done well. We've got one courgette plant, and the sweet corn's doing quite well as well. But everything else has been a disaster this year. It's just been too hot. Just see how much more cable I've got. Oh, I've got a little bit more. Okay. Had something crawling around on my head then. Don't know what it was, a bee or something. Sunflowers are basically going over. Oh, it's a spider. That's what it was. Crawling around on my head. That's appreciated. The pears have picked up. I've been watering the pears quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. They'll be probably this year ready to pick 2 or 3 weeks time probably. There's a lot of pears this year, but no apples. I brought the aubergine plants out of the greenhouse. I took everything out of the greenhouse because it was just too hot. Nothing was surviving in there. Something I have to bear in mind next year. Come around here, see what we've got around here. There's gherkin. There's we haven't seen Wiggy the acorn for a little bit. There's in fact, Wiggy the acorn's actually growing roots out the bottom of his pot. So there's Wiggy the acorn. See, he's that keen, so we'll probably have to pot up Wiggy the acorn. What else can I show you down here? Walking past the greenhouse. That's the greenhouse. Let's show you some grapes, shall we? Hopefully you can see the grapes. Got a lot of grapes this year. They probably need more water as well. There's loads and loads of grapes on. They're the best crop of grapes since I've been here. Hopefully you can see those. I can't really see on the small screen what you're looking at, but I'm pointing it in the right direction, so hopefully you can see that. There are lots of bits and pieces around. It's getting to this bit of the summer really where you've got to start cutting back stuff. Mainly to keep the flowers going, because a lot of things want to go to seed now. So it is a case of maintenance really. I did a load of hedge trimming yesterday down the left hand side as you look at the garden normally. I did that off stream yesterday. Just really tidying things up. And you can see that that's an example that this is a hardy geranium here, and it's starting to get a bit straggly and it's got seed heads on it. So that won't do any harm to give that a bit of a haircut. I'll drag you back onto the. I'll drag you back onto. I'll put you back on the tripod. Hopefully we haven't pixelated. I have a suspicion we always tend to by this stage of the stream. Oh, that looks okay at the moment. I'll just turn that around for a sec. And go away. So, I think there's a few new people here today. So, I'll say hello. Hello. Hopefully, I'm on screen. You can't really tell from here, but hopefully I am. If I was really cunning, I'd look at the phone, wouldn't I? And see whether I was actually in the picture. That'd be good thinking, wouldn't it? Yeah, I am. Yep. Morning. I'm Bear. I'm in my congratulations t-shirt with the ice cream and cone on it. Actually, I think it says congratulations on looking cool. So if you're new to the channel and you've never seen me, you may have heard me or seen me in chat. That's who I am. I'm just going to move you out from there. I'm going to put you in. You will go in the sun for a couple of minutes, but let's see if we can actually capture some bee activity. Let's see, where should we go and look at? Let's go in here, shall we? Tip you up a bit. Hopefully you're not far enough away so the audio will still work. I'll just check the audio. That still seems to be working, that's good. So we've still got audio. Lane's put up the merch stores. Yeah, we've got 2 merch stores, T-Mill and 44. We do the designs, they do everything else from the ordering to the customer service to organising delivery. And they pay us a small commission. So if you want your Bear in the Garden merch, we've got mugs and tea towels and all sorts of different types of t-shirts, and we've got some hoodies on there. You may have to float between the 2 merch stores. Some have something on it, some have some different things on it, some have the similar things, so you can take your choice. I'm not going to drag us out too much today. As I say, we'll be back plenty of times this week, I think. I'll say we won't be on tomorrow. I don't know, Tuesday evening might be a possibility. We'll wait and see. We had no pick stations throughout. Yeah, it's to do with temperature more than anything else. And I've just noticed that's not actually in shot. Why is that not in shot? We're clipping on one side of the video. Not utilising all the space we have available to us. Yeah, that's got rid of that little black line on the right hand side. Let's zoom in for some future action towards the end. Yeah, that's not too bad. So I'm just playing that. Hopefully I can get the YouTube ice cream van to work. There may be a YouTube pop-up stream, so if you see a notification for YouTube stream in the next day or so. That'll be what it is. So if you miss a few minute stream, don't worry too much. It's just me testing. The proper garden streams will be on for sort of a couple of hours at least, as normal. We've still got a few admin things to do today, which Beauty Love Creative's always already posted about. And loads posted on both platforms. Yeah, anyone new, we have a Dutch word of the day. We're all learning Dutch together on this channel. Won't go to the full story, but we're learning Dutch anyway, or at least a Dutch word of the day. Today's Dutch word is, for the English version, is digging, but I would assume that's where the word grave comes from, because the Dutch word for digging is, I assume, graven. Well, knowing the Dutch language, it's probably pronounced like graven or riven or something like that, but we'll go for graven. Apologies for any Dutch speakers. Beauty will shortly tell me how bad that pronunciation was. Oh, so you've got to do it's a double A. Graven. Graven. That's too throaty, isn't it? Graven. Rather than graven, it's graven. Graven. In a much more laid back approach than rather than trying to get the word out as quickly as possible. Fun was good. Okay. Graven. Oh, sorry. Graven. Graven. There you go. Right, so everyone's can practice their word for the Dutch word for digging today. Who said you don't learn something on this channel? Always nice bee down into a fuchsia there. Thanks, V-Kite, for the bits. That's very generous. That's interesting. We got an announcement for the bits, but no little symbol for the bits. That's probably me from yesterday. I was playing with the system yesterday, but V-Kite's generously given some for the bits over on Twitch. It is appreciated. If I've said this before on the channel, if anyone donates to the channel, it stays within the channel. It goes. The channel's got its own little bank account, and everything stays within the channel and funds the channel. The intention to self-fund itself, but I think that's pretty unlikely. So if you see me doing any gifts or anything else out on other platforms or other channels, that's coming from my own money rather than recycling gifted money. The gifted money goes into the channel, and if it goes towards some of the software we use or some plants or something for the garden, that's where it goes. In fact, actually, I might somewhere put a running total of what we've got. I might do that actually via the website. I was working on that yesterday as well. So there's a few new bits and pieces going up on the website. And because I've got a bit of time this week, I might have to spend a bit more time on that. So I might actually do that, keep like a running total of what the channel's bringing in, and also I might also put sort of the overall costing of how much it costs to run the channel. I don't know if people would be interested in that. It'd probably be a good thing for me to do as well, because I don't honestly know how much it's costing to run the channel. But there you go. But thanks very much, V-Kite. That was very generous of you. Anyone over on Twitch, you can have a sub to the channel or use your one Prime sub each month. you get with Amazon Prime. Both will give you your ad-free viewing and your remotes. YouTube, if you want a channel membership, it is at the very base cost of I think it's 99p in the UK or 99 cents in Europe, or whatever the equivalent is around the world. That gets you a little members badge and also some extra emotes. Apparently Beauty Love Creative, when she gives me the Dutch word of the day, is also shouting at me what I should be saying. No, I can't hear you, by the way. Hello, D. Michael. So yeah, if you want a membership over on YouTube, it is dirt cheap. It's fairly basic what you get for it at the moment. You get your remotes, and you don't get slow chat and things like that. You do get some extra bits and pieces, bonus wise, video wise. I will be trying to up that a bit for you and make it more akin to what Twitch subs get in terms of their extra perks. So both YouTube and Twitch get a similar sort of support. You get your base free viewing. Well, obviously you'll watch the ads or whatever, or have Turbo or Prime, or Premium, depending which platform you're on. And then obviously if you're a sub over on Twitch or a member over YouTube, I'm trying to sort of tally those two up. But you should see that in due course, and I can explain more when we've got some time to do that, rather than these gardening streams. Thanks everyone for being here. We have still got to guess the lunch. I'll give you a clue. I am on my own. Well, I'm not on my own because the cats are around somewhere. Probably won't see the boy cats all day. Probably. The girl cat will be asleep in the house somewhere. But I'm on my own here. So if you'd like to guess what the lunch is, feel free. While you're putting your guesses for lunch into the chat. Oh, that's inconvenient. The person I was going to raid has disappeared, so I'm going to have to find a different raid. Oh. Oh, this is going to cause chaos. We may have to go somewhere new for the raid. Oh no, I know where we'll go. Never done this, but oh yeah, we'll do that one. Assuming they're still doing what I want them to do. I saw this the other day. I'll have to check on what they're doing at the time. That would be a fun stream to go to, even though it is in German. So we've practiced our Dutch, and we could always practice our German. I'll say a few. Everyone's been putting in their lunch guesses. So I'll say a few thanks before I do that. We'll come back and see who's won the lunch guess. Over on YouTube, thanks Beauty Love Creative, Christian, Ali Alias, Ali BHG. Who else was over there? Just come back through. Alex Blackcat as well. Oh, I can see V-Kite, you were over on YouTube as well. Oh, I didn't spot you over on YouTube. Apologies for that, V-Kite. I know you can float between platforms like quite a few of us do. D. Michael as well. Oh, Colleen, welcome in, Colleen. we're just starting to wrap up, Colleen. So if you want to catch up. We've been planting up the bed under where we took out the clematis a couple of weeks ago. So if you go about half an hour into the stream on replay, you'll find that's where we're doing that. Over on Twitch, we've got Liz out and about, Liz OC. We've got V-Kite was over there. Just seeing who else was on there. Yankee Axe was here, I know that. Michael was here. Tinker was here earlier. Orange Hue. Thanks to everyone who's been lurking. I can see there's a few people lurking on each platform. I won't call you out because that's the purpose of lurking. But welcome anyway. Hope you've enjoyed the stream. Thanks to Lone for being on both platforms today. Moderating. I think you've been moderating on your own today, Lone, so it is very much appreciated. Hope it doesn't be too strenuous for you. Let's see what we've got in terms of guesses for lunch. Liz has gone for a pear salad, or a pear sandwich, or a pear pie. That doesn't sound something I would eat. Lone's gone for a thick, chunky veg soup. I thought you knew me better than that. We'll see what YouTube's guessed at. Freesias. I used to grow a few freesias. I haven't got any in the garden at the moment. That was not a lunch suggestion, by the way, freesia. Chicken sandwich with soup, no. Bubble and squeak, no. I'm actually having a steak pie for my lunch with some mash. That's what I'm having for lunch. There's a question there from Alex Blackcat about community page. We do have a community page, yeah. If you go on our main Bear in the Garden YouTube homepage, you should find a link to the community page. Or in fact, actually, I put out a post this morning that gives you a direct link to it as well. So if you just look in the post section on there, you'll find a link to it. Yeah, and anyone who over on YouTube who wants to post a picture of a plant or a flower, you can do on the community page. It doesn't always update me on when anyone posts, but I do my best. We just someone else just followed by looks. Thanks very much for following. I'm going to make a mess of your name, but I'll have a go to it. Callie Amoni. Thanks for following. That's hit the next goal of 390 followers over on Twitch. Thanks very much for doing that. Yeah, so if you've got pictures to post, you can do on the YouTube community page. A few people have already done that. It's fairly simple to do. Good morning. Oh, you're in Chicago. Well, this is Yorkshire in the UK. We're just starting to wind up now, but you can. The VOD will be up if you want to watch back and see what we've actually done today. We always stream on a Sunday at this sort of time in the UK. Plus, we do bonus streams other times as well. And we try to do some evening streams here, which would be lunchtimey streams for North America as well, because we've got a lot of North American viewers. So there's plenty of content. For anyone who is new here, we're predominantly a YouTube channel. That's where most of our content is. But we dual stream our live streams, which would make sense. We dual stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And we've got two lovely communities on both sides. Going back to the community page, yeah, if you've got pictures, you can post it in our community page on YouTube on the channel. Or if you've got Discord, we've got a Discord server where you can post your pictures as well. I'll put those in for I think you have to answer, using that link, I think you have to answer, who am I real, sort of questions, and why do you think I'm so, and why do you think the channel's so brilliant, or something along those lines to get in. But basically you get automatically approved next time I go on Discord. So we've got Discord as well as, but the community page on YouTube you can post on there. So feel free to do that, Ali. Sorry, Alex. And again, we've also got our website, which I'm working on. Been working on the last day or so to bring up to date. And the website's got links to all our social media and the stores and bits and pieces and a bit about us. So if you want to know more about us, that's a good point to start with. We're on all good, bad, and different platforms under Bear in the Garden, so we're not difficult to find. I say this week, YouTube's got all its normal content throughout the week. We'll be live streaming definitely next Sunday at the same time. We'll be probably live streaming Friday, if I was guessing Friday evening UK time. If it's clear and I'm awake, we might try to do the lunar eclipse very early UK time on Friday as well. But I'll probably try to do an evening stream Tuesday or Wednesday evening this week. But I will post, I will do a YouTube stream, hopefully Tuesday or Wednesday. A live stream Tuesday or Wednesday on both platforms. But I will update YouTube. I'll make a post for that, and on Twitch, I'll post it in Discord. But also, I'll try to update the streaming schedule ahead of time as well. I can see. Is it Alex's birthday? Is it? Oh, happy birthday to Alex Black Cat over on YouTube. Everyone can wish Alex happy birthday. Hope you enjoy your day. Hope this has been an encouraging, fun start to the day. We've got 2 super communities on both sides. So keep your eyes open for notifications. That's what I'm planning to do this week. It does slightly depend on clearing the decks tomorrow and Tuesday. I've got a lot to do before we get to that point. But if I've got spare time this week, which I should do, that's the plan. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I'm going to see if I can raid out on Twitch, see what they're still doing. Yep, we'll go to where I want to go. We're going to go to a totally different stream on Twitch. I know they're a German-speaking stream, so anyone who knows some German, you can say hello, but I don't think we make a fanfare. Just enjoy the stream. It's a nice, calming stream, something completely different you can just put on in the background and enjoy. Let's set that up now. This is where the streamer on Twitch starts to fumble about trying to remember how to set up a raid. Luckily I did that. Yeah, so hopefully they'll let us raid into there. Thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for your support. Thanks for the bits. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for any new subs. And I'll see everyone next time. Have a good afternoon. I'll set up the raid to get going. I'll put the little thank you screen up, and then we'll raid out on Twitch and YouTube. You can go and watch whatever you want to watch for the rest of the afternoon. And I'll see everyone in all the usual places next few days. Cheerio.